Check 1, 2, 3. Should be on. Yep, the logo is on. All right, welcome back to the second session of how to calculate your social media engagements. Yeah, I'm gonna time myself so that I don't go overboard. I have a timer here and it works. All right, so yeah, thank you so much for watching this. I sincerely hope though last week's benchmark calculation is clear and you can still understand it. But again, just to reiterate the fact, benchmark, it's sort of like the standard of achievement, you would say. All right, it sounds very fancy, but it's actually not. Of why we hire or engage in the services of the influencer, right? Of the influencer. So in any campaigns that I can think of that I worked with social media campaigns in the past few years, we've always give a list of what you call it, of different influencers, and to the point that we know to a certain point their following determines what sort of tier they are on. I think I've covered this before in our previous class in digital marketing practice. Tier 1, you have your tier 1, if you go to tier 2, you have your tier 3 and your tier 4, and then you got your tier 5. All right, all the way up at the top will be your celeb level, and we're expecting these people to have millions of followers, millions and millions of followers. All right, so for example, someone like just spoke with her recently, fantastic person, Elizabeth Tan, which I'll show you her Instagram. Elizabeth Tan, she has crazy amount of followers. Elizabeth DSM, yep, there you go. 1.5 million followers. She has dropped her followers actually, right? 1.5 million followers, and the common idea is this: like, if you have the more followers you have, we sort of expect you to have to the more you will have engagement, right? And therefore a higher benchmark, right? So for this category, like it's like hers, you can tell it's just crazy. Her engagements, like, look at that, right? And you can't see the thing up above one. Thanks for Anson who pointed out above 1K you can't see the number, so you gotta go into the picture and see the number here. All right, the exact number is this one. So is this number plus this guy, so it's like 72932, and that's just one post plus the comments, so 670 here as well. All right, so I'm not gonna calculate this, but you can go and figure it out, right? Calculate all these big shots and how did they fare in terms of the engagement. But I would say just looking at the number of likes they have, she's gonna be about anywhere between 80 to 100,000 engagement for benchmark, right? So for someone like her, this is a ballpark figure, yeah, 80K to probably about 100K benchmark. And this is just a crazy amount. You may look like a lot, but actually all her posts are consistently getting the kind of numbers. Oh, not these ones, huh? Wow, so only the recent ones. Oh, that leads me to suspect maybe someone buy followers, huh? Anyway, oh, this is okay. Yeah, but then there's a question last week. Some of you asked, so is views counted? Are views counted as engagement? I think Daphne was the one to ask this question, right? Are we counted engagement? Yes, it is. It is flawed. I understand. I don't agree with it, and we have some clients who are like, "Wow, why is this person's view so high, on engagement or benchmark so high?" And it's because they have counted in views as part of the engagement. So some of her posts like this is crazy, 577. You have to count it in as part of engagement, and it will make it very, very lopsided. So even this number now tells me that it wouldn't be 80 to 100K, it would be way more than that. We're talking close to this, maybe, perhaps, right? But that's what you get with an influencer of this stature.
All right. Anyway, let me go to your tier 1 and tier 2. So you sort of work your way down, right? So you got a perhaps your 500k and below mark. You've got your 250k and below mark. Your tier 3 would be anywhere from 100 to 150 and below. This would be 100k and below, but maybe 50 to 100k, right? And anything from 10k to 50k would be your tier 5. This is just to give you a rough idea, and we have worked with so many of them who has different engagements. So it becomes very important for the client to see a report like this, right? Where they not only hire the influencer to do all the postings for them, but they actually see whether it does it work or not, right? So prior to sending all these lists, this whole thing to our client, we actually already send the benchmarks for all these influencers that you see in this corner here, right? So that's what we have to do in this day and age of social media monitoring, especially for social media campaigns. Right, so I want to jump back straight into it. We calculate the benchmark again. Just to refresh your mind, what is benchmark again? We have covered this here. Benchmark formula is 10 posts prior, right? 10 posts prior, average it up. Average means you just divide it by the number of posts and you deduct a further 10%. Now 10%, this is industry standard. Alright, some agencies tend to play with this number a bit. I've seen agencies that goes down to 5% to 8%. Alright, so some of them I don't know, this is just maybe to fluff the numbers up, I don't know, but the industry standard is 10%. So in our class, we will take 10%. Alright, so you should know this by now. This was last week's tutorial. Okay, so for this week, I want to focus on the other stuff that we didn't cover. Alright, same thing, we can look at Nissin again. Alright, Nissin, same people, the same stuff, just that we calculated the benchmark last week. Alright, so how do we get this table? And again, when this exact document up until this point, so remember, this document will be made available to you online on Blackboard. Slide number 1, or maybe not this wording lah, huh? Okay, maybe slide number 2 onwards. 2 all the way until 16. That's actually like straight up from my reporting. Alright? In fact, I don't mind showing you. Why am I not showing the real report? Wait, where's my... Hold on, guys. Sorry, sidetrack a bit. Drink some water or whatever first. Okay. Bonzi Jaden. Nissin, right? Nissin. Was it this one? Let me see. This was my work folder. So let's see if it's... Yeah, so you see, we introduce these influencers to the client. Alright. Anyway, don't worry about this. It's the wrong one. Where's the report? I want to see the report. KOL replacement. No. Alright, so we went through a few rounds with them to suggest a few changes of influencers. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find the report. Is it in my report folder? Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. Alright. There you go. So this is the exact report. As you can see, just familiarize yourself with the look of it. Right, it's exactly the same as more or less the same as what you see on the other side. Okay, I don't mind showing you this as well because I purposely took away the cost. The only thing that's sensitive about this report is I can't show you the total cost with this. Yeah. Anyone? I hope I remember by the end of this video, but remind me to give you this report. Yeah, this Nissin. This Nissin Cup Noodles report. Anyway, let's go back to it. Alright, so this is the report structure. So what I want to talk about today is a few things. Number 1,
introducing the campaign, influencer performance overview, plus samples and proof and sentiments analysis. But altogether, these 4 things, and in it, you will calculate the engagements as well, right? So I want y'all to make sense of this thing here, right? So we always start with the influencer performance overview, right? So how should you, right, start your social media monitoring report? Right. Step 1, always start with the campaign overview. And campaign overview is just the total number of influencers that you have together with the total number of posts that they are engaged in. Right? Sometimes they give more, sometimes they give less. Also, total number of reach. This means the followers, the likes, whatever. In this case, we only see their wait, let me check here before I say it. Yep, so that's on blog and that's Facebook and Instagram, right? So in this case, for Nicole Xiang, we see her Facebook and Instagram. So number of reach across all platforms. Followers means it's Instagram. Likes means it's Facebook. Subscribers means it's YouTube. All right. Okay, just to make it clear for you guys, YouTube. Likes means it's Facebook. After a while, if any one of you interested to work in social media, please let me know. I think we are always looking for people, and we have always spot for people who want to try out their, to see whether or not they like it. Total reach, total engagement is a total number, grand total, right? Number of engagement. That means all the reactions, all the likes that they have, comments, views, shares, reactions, blah blah blah. And finally, we give them this engagement rate in percentage, right? Very easy to understand. So this one is just a reflection of this, as you can see here. All right. Now, I think the rest is pretty straightforward. Maybe don't look at the blog portion, just look at this directly. Total postings until here, these 4 columns here. Total postings, like I said, is the total number of posts they are engaged in. Total reach and also total engagement is pretty straightforward, right? Engagement is the one that needs a little bit of explanation, but it's very, very easy. Engagement percentage is your total engagement divided by your total reach. Okay, so this is another formula, formula number 2, I think. Formula number 1 is this one. Yep, formula 1. Formula number 1 is this one. Your benchmark formula. I'm gonna like bold this so that you can remember. This is formula number 2, engagement percentage formula. Percentage. Wrong spelling. Okay, manage formula. Alright, which is your total reach. No, sorry, total engagement divide by your total reach. So in this case, it's a straight up 1525. Alright, just using Nicole Xiang as an example, right? So divide by, where's my divide symbol? Where is it? Where's my divide symbol? Where is the divide? You mean there's no divide symbol on the laptop? Anyway, divide by 33100. Alright, I can't calculate, but I trust in my numbers. That's 4.61. Okay, again, what does this mean? What does this 4.61 mean? This 4.61 means this means 4.61%, right, of the entire follower count of the particular influencer. Right, in this case is Nicole, is this lady here, Nicole Xiang, of the particular influencer who responded to the total number of posts. Again, I sidetracked a bit with this. The engagement rates for people differs. All right, engagement rate, it differs from
exactly from like which tier you're on, or which celebrity mark you're on, which depending on your follower count as well, whatever, yada yada. It's a bit of a loose thing, but we as an industry standard, if you can hit anywhere between 3% to 5%, this is actually an okay number. All right, average to good number. All right, we see some really bad engagements. Again, this is not final, it's flexible, but if we see 3% and 5% is good. There are some here who don't hit the mark. You see that some is 1%, some is like 2%. These are your average, pretty average standard, right? Poor to average, and we really feel that anywhere that's below 1% is really just poor. All right, but the thing is, you won't know this until you try, at least with the benchmark. All right, so think about it from a marketer's point of view, right? At least with the benchmark, you sort of can get an idea of how the influencer would perform before you engage the person, right? Whereas engagement rate is something that you need to engage in a person. Say they have a really bad benchmark or really high benchmark. Who knows? Maybe your campaign is a very good campaign. It can help to kickstart the influencer's career, or make it a bit better, right? Who knows? So the thing is, this is a bit difficult to sort of preempt. So I want you to also think like that. Benchmark formula is so that you can actually preempt or predict, right? Predict better for performance. Whereas engagement rate is something that it will only purely happen after or during you engage your influencer. Alright, so I give you a good list here. I have some I have worked before with some influencers and some clients and some brands where their engagement is through the roof. So I have personally seen before where this is anomaly. I won't even put it here, but there are some influencers who are above 15% to all the way 30%. Now this is like God level, man. Right? That means a third of your entire what you call it, follower responded to your post. Okay, of course we don't talk about small numbers. If you got 10 followers, 30% means 3 people followed. 3 people responded to your post. That's not really that impressive, lah. So we're talking about like people with millions of followers and they have this number. So this is amazing. But this doesn't happen often. In fact, it's super rare. These are the numbers we stick with. All right. As you can see, some of here, so you can already tell. Just have a mental image of this. 3 to 5 is average to good. Anywhere above 5, and actually anywhere above 5 is considered as sorry, let me put the symbol in. Anywhere more than 5% is considered as good. All right. So anywhere 3 to 5 is average to good. 1 to 2 is poor to average. Less than 1% is considered as poor. You can then tell Nicole Xiang is not too bad. Shinny Lola average. Spicy Sharon could do better, right? Within the 1 to 2% range. This is really good. Mikayu Ito, right? 3 to 5. All right. 1, this is the poorest of the lot. And all these are actually not too bad either. Especially this one, Shirley Yu, right? This is considered as good engagement. But oh my gosh. But this is in connection with the total reach. All right, look at the number of reach. She's one of the lower ones. It sort of works like that. If you have a smaller reach and bigger engagement, that's how you get a bigger engagement rate. Yeah, so that's how you do it here. And of course, you have to total everything up and put it here and present this nicely and cleanly to your client as the first, like I said, campaign overview. Right? Total number of influencers you have, total number of posts, reach, engagement, and the engagement rate in percentage. Okay? I'm going to go through it one by one. Just to go through this, see what I missed. So remember, engagement is your total number of reactions, yeah? Comments, likes, shares, reactions, views, even YouTube videos. For example, let's go to a YouTube video. You calculate the number of likes and dislikes as well. Right, let's look at I don't know, anything. Binging with Babish. I love this guy. All right. We swore an oath. Okay, so you take the number of views, all right, which is a lot. Wow, crazy a lot, and the number of what do you call that, likes and dislikes as well. Yeah, okay. So that is your total engagement. Total postings. What are they posting? What do they post online? All right, and total reach is total, basically total number that they have. And I'll just show you how do you calculate your engagements. Okay. All right. I know I put here good standard is 10 to 15% is, again, this is not accurate. This has always been revised. All right. So let's look at this again. Oh, sorry. Oh, I missed out one thing. Total engagement divided by total reach multiplied by 100. Right? You have to multiply this by 100 times times 100. Sorry, let me close on my, what's that? Missing people. Okay, all right. Okay, so engagement in percentage is how you calculate. Okay, now let's look at individual. So after that, what happens is after you do your campaign overview, then you go into your second portion, which is your individual performance. Okay, individual performance overview, and this is where you go look one by one again. Just to show you this report lah. I think it's better if I show you this, right? Because it's more comprehensive. Every influencer is here. Every one of their work is here. After the main list, you go into their specific ones. So for her, Nico Xiang, what postings they did, what Facebook posts they did, what Instagram posts they did, what are the reach, total it, what are the engagements, total it, benchmarks, put it out here, and engagement, you put it out here. All right. So this should be fairly straightforward. I don't think I have to explain this. It's just this table is just a bit more it's just slightly different from what you see here. All right. When you go to your influencers performance, you go into their platform. Specifically, all we want to see is the benchmark, which is this one. Yeah. Okay. Notice that we don't give benchmark here. Yeah. On the campaign overview, we only give the benchmark when it comes to the individual performance. Don't ask me why. This is how it's always been done. Okay. So in her case, her Facebook benchmark we calculate was 6, which is quite low. All right. And she totally smashed her benchmark 17, 12, and 19 for all 3 posts. For Instagram, her benchmark is 725, and she totally smashed it with 1477. And with this, we calculate her engagement, which is this number, all right, divide by this number times 100, and you get this number. Okay, same thing. This number, engagement, divide by your reach. Wait, go away. Divide by your reach times 100, you get this number. Okay. All right. So there's a bit of an error here. Oh, this is the first draft. Yeah, it is the error. Yeah, you're supposed to add everything up, and this is not 4.61. My bad, guys, for showing you a draft. Anyway, so what you notice here, apart from this table, is just one box here that talks about her, just a very basic analysis. Let me put this into another folder, another note. All right, so it's clearer. Okay, I'm gonna delete all of this. Okay, right, influencer performance overview. So here you put the total number of posts. First you start with platform first, which is, as you can see, platform, and you also provide the link. All right, the link towards the post. Right, total number of posts, which is, oh, so you don't take total number of posts, sorry. So no total number of posts. Sorry guys, my bad. It's been a long day. It's 7:04 p.m. and I'm still here in the office recording this for you guys. See how much I love y'all. Anyway, and reach, right, for the platform. Yeah, so if your
what I recommend is you just follow this structure lah. Okay, so it's clear, so that when you look into the Facebook or whatever, it's clearer. This one, I just want to explain why you see different reaches. Normally it's the same, right? Why do you see a different reach? Because this third post came a bit later, right? And suddenly she just a drop in her follower count in Facebook. So we had to record it as such lah. Alright, otherwise this number should be the same. Okay, but this third post came a bit later. It was an additional request from the client, and that's why this number is to reflect the current situation that when we engaged her. Okay, reach, what else is on this list? Engagement and your benchmark. Okay, this is when this benchmark comes in. Yeah, and then of course you got your engagement in percentage. Okay, so you got one section here, right? I will call this section A. Section A, provide the table, right? Section B is what I will call the insight box, right? Which is this thing here. Okay, so I always make sure that my team and we just give a few things, not to overanalyze it, because these are actually just really straightforward stuff. So we put in Nicole perform much better on Instagram than on Facebook, which is true, right? With the difference in following on both platforms, this indicates to our client that we may want to engage her for more in Instagram work rather than Facebook. Like, what do we mean here by her Facebook is doing very well? Like, see, her benchmark is 6, but everything shatters, right? But in comparison, her reach is very small. Her reach for Instagram is much greater, and we see a double, right, in her engagement versus her benchmark. So what we're trying to imply with point number 1 is she did better in Instagram than her Facebook. So I always want to encourage my team to give a quick insight of which platform performed better. Right? Performed better. The second thing I always put is which of it has is the highlight, which of it is the better platform or better statistic. Sometimes I don't put this at all, but since it's here, I'll just give it to you guys, right? And finally, whether or not her postings have exceeded benchmark, exceeded or fell below benchmark. Okay, so that's your insight box, section B. And section C, what we have is this little what do you call this, graph, right, to show visually where they stand in terms of the benchmark and the performance. Okay, how do we create this? We go to Google Sheets. Okay, let me use incognito mode. Google Sheets, because I can't access the normal page without incognito mode. So this is my account. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll just click this part here. I think it'd be slow. Oh no. Oh no, sorry guys. I wasted 1 minute of your life. It's not Google Sheets, it's Google Slides. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Then when I'm looking at it, I was looking at Google Sheets. Why is it so weird? Okay. So open it. Open anything. Alright. So in reporting for social media monitoring, it is a bit tedious. It requires a lot of work, right, in terms of putting this together. But we normally work on this as a team, right? So I usually conduct I usually delegate it to my team members. I will do some parts. So in this one thing, we usually have one guy compiling this, one guy doing this, and another guy doing the capturing of the samples. We normally get one report done usually on the day the campaign ends. Yep. Anyway, come back to this. How do we get these graphs here? Easy. We use Google Slides, insert, chart, bar, pie. So you can just stick from here. Yep. So I would say just try as column. Okay. Right. Just put it here. And if you want to change the number, easy. It should go to sheets. Here you go. Alright, so whatever you type here will change here. Okay, whatever you type in this sub column. Why is it not moving? Okay, alright, finally. Okay, so in this case, very simple. All we do is just try to report it as such. In her case, we will put period, maybe not period 1, period 2. But yeah, it's good that you have this period 1, period 2. We will rename this to performance. Right, benchmark. See, it changes. Okay, post 1, post 2, right, and post 3. Maybe I take out this last one. Right, it becomes 3. So I'll just change the number lah. Right, so you always want to try to report the performance first, then the benchmark. Sometimes I see some reports that even I myself do sometimes that I put the benchmark first, then the performance. That's I don't know. I just don't like. Some clients I realize don't like that. They want to see the other way around, right? So let's just follow this, right? 1 7. Let's just follow this. 17 and 6. So the benchmark for all is always 6, right? And the 17, 12, and 19. Oh, sorry. 17, 12, and 19. Okay, as you can see, everything is balanced out. Right? If you want to change the color, I think you can. There you go. Where's the color chart? Dismiss. Customize. Horizontal axis. There you go. Okay, no text color. Vertical axis. Grid lines. Where's the color chart? But anyway, if you can figure out, let me know. I just can't figure out now. Right? But anyway, this is a reflection on that. So what we do is easy. We go back here. It will update. So just click update. There you go. Alright. So then I'll just screen capture this. Right, and put it over in the report. Right, and label it as such. Okay. Right, straightforward. So that's how you get this two things to or whatever to compare. Sometimes it can be just an Instagram what do you call it, campaign, so then you don't have to do so many platforms. But I've personally done platforms, personally done campaigns which involves multiple platforms, including Snapchat, which we can't track. We have to rely on users' impression. So that's another thing. I'm not gonna go to that at all in this class with you guys. I'm gonna go with whatever that we can track online reliably. Okay, so that's this part done. Right, so section C will be your graphs, right? Or I would say visualization and visualization. Okay, head to Google Sheets. No, Google Slides. Right, click on insert graph and select whatever you want. There's a few there just now you saw. There's columns, there's pie chart, whatever. For this purpose, we use a column. It's easier, alright? And then all you do is when you have it up, propped up like that, just click on it. Click on the open source option, right? Click on click on graph. click on open source, and this should lead you to Google Sheets, where everything you input there will reflect on the actual bar chart like this. Okay, right? You can change the number of posts. You can add. In fact, you just add one in. I think you should add, right? Post 4, right? Post 5. Okay, and all the way, right? So that's section A, B, and C. That's 1, right? 2, and the last section, okay, that you should put is simply the screenshots. All right. I don't put all. I always recommend my team to not put all unless the clients wants to see all. So I always put like just one page worth. All right. Okay. This is the third one, right? Which is what I call it, snapshots. Snapshots. I just insert the images of the postings. All right. My habit is I always put in the what you call it, the platform and the reach and engagement again, but you don't need to do this for all clients. I only do it because it's my habit, because the numbers are already reflected up here. Okay, so this one you don't need to reflect it at all if you don't want to, but I like to do it because I like to remind my client of how these perform, whatever. All this is to report to them, right? So insert image of postings. Do not warp it, meaning when you put this in, don't make sure that it's thin. Make sure that it's original size, even if it's a very wide picture like the Instagram one. Just make sure it's kept to the original size. Okay, find a way to make it work within that one page. Do not warp it. Do not warp. Do not do not misshape the post. Yeah. Okay. And that's it, snapshot for this section, and you repeat the same for all influencers. In this case, let's look for the other report. Oh, this is the report, right? Shini Lola, right? Post Spicy Sharon, her post. Spicy Sharon didn't do very well, isn't it? This one also didn't do very well. But benchmark is this. Okay, no. Actually, sorry. It did very well. My bad. Right, and they also did snapshots, Malaysian foodie, etc. Right, these are all the other influencers. Okay, so you do the same for all influencers. Even if this is for your own knowledge, even if you have 20 influencers, you have to do for all. Right, we have come to our last part of our this video, which is to do sentiment analysis. All right. Sentiment analysis. Now, like I shared before to you in class, sentiment analysis, basically we separate it into 3 categories: positive, neutral, or negative. Alright, but in this case, sentiment analysis is not positive, neutral, negative is not in relation to how happy this post sounds, or how unhappy this post sounds, or how angry this post sounds. It's not, right? It's not, but rather positive, neutral, negative is it in relation to the brand or the influencer. Alright? Same thing, in relation to the brand or the influencer, and negative in relation to the brand or influencer. Example, alright? Example, let's just say, wow, great picture, Nicole, right? Would love to try the noodles someday, as it's in the campaign, right? So is this positive or neutral or negative? Think about it, right? This would be positive because of one of 2 things or both things. It has relation towards the influencer and also the noodles, right? But what happens if you have a post that is just like that? That is just, wow, great picture, Nicole. Wow, great picture, Nicole. Is this positive or negative or neutral? Alright, it's up to it's debatable. Alright, some clients think that this is positive because it's in relation to the client, to the influencer. But as a marketer, I tend to think that this would be more neutral than positive, because this doesn't mention the brand, which to me, that's my priority as a marketer, right? My priority, or our priority as marketers, right, is to prioritize the brand, aka the client, right? So if it doesn't mention the client, brand or product or service at all, I tend to want to put it under neutral. Again, this is debatable. Some clients actually think that this is actually worth enough to be positive. This depends on your client, right? But I tend to want to teach it this way, that this is actually not that positive, because it doesn't link as your priority towards the brand, right? Okay, negative, very simple. Anything that's angry, or anything that is what do you call it, slander the brand or the influencer. Okay, all right. I think I shared also in class. There are some comments that is totally unrelated to the post at all. So, for example, people talking about noodles. Suddenly, this guy goes, the sky is very blue today. Okay, you can't really say this is negative, because this has nothing to do with the brand, or it's not necessarily is angering or slandering anyone. So this will be neutral lah, right? Okay, your objective is always to try to get more positive sentiments rather than neutral or negative. Okay, so at our last section, sentiment analysis, we put this as an overview again, right? How many comments do we have? How many negative comments do we have? Right? Examples, we give this, right? Like example, this is we consider as we count this as a negative comment, because this is mentions the word cancer, and we don't think it's very nice to be talking about this in the post itself. All right. Again, you might be thinking, why do we bother about sentiment the most? Is because these are all conversation starters, and we always tell our influencers before we hire them, or during when we hire them for campaigns, you as the influencer has the responsibility to maintain sentiments for the campaign. So they have the responsibility to do so, and we made that very clear to them. All right. So in terms of, where's the other document? In terms of in terms of maintaining or achieving achieving positive sentiments, we always ensure that the influencer is not say responsible, is on top of it, right? So meaning they are the ones who actually have to reply nicely to people, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, all right. So, and we supplement it together with examples. So sentiment analysis is very simple. It's just this: what happened? What are some of our key learnings? This right down here. What are some of our key learnings? So this one you will know after you've done the campaign. So for example, for this one, we realized that imagery of food like noodles can evoke positive sentiments from audience. So it's better to just talk about noodles and take picture with the noodles. And we also try to avoid what we found out as what could be a trigger for negative learning would be associating cup noodles as midnight snack, which people may perceive it as unhealthy diet, and captions where too hard sell will not be perceived positively among certain individuals. All right. So these key learnings, I don't really see a need for it unless you've done a campaign, but I see it as something that you observe from the campaign. All right. And there you go. That's it. That's the entire report. We have covered part 1 and part 2. Now, going back a little bit more, going back to your campaign. All right. Done, all done, all done. Now I've left some of these things here even in last week's video. What I want you to do is, I think you track the benchmark for the ones I mentioned last week, so that's fine. What I want you to do is, I want you to, these two things here, I want you to track positive and negative sentiments for these few people that you see here. Alright? Don't bother about this yet. This is the Lipton flavored iced tea. Don't do this yet. I want to do this in class. Right? So I'll see you all back next week and I want to talk about this in class. Alright? So don't do this yet. But your blended learning from this tutorial is to track positive and negative sentiments for these few people here. Alright? Okay? So let me put it down. Where's the other document? Alright? Blended learning. Right, follow slide number 21 and 22. 21 and 22. Track positive and negative. Is it negative? Yeah, negative sentiment for the influencer. And I just need one each. Alright, one positive, one negative for each influencer. Okay, how do you do it? Easy. Screen capture the comment. Okay, this will be in a blog lah, as usual, in your blended learning week 5. Alright guys, I've hit my minutes. It's 46 minutes. Thank you so much. I hope this has been insightful. This will I think this will greatly benefit you in terms of your next assessment, which is to track the certificate experience. Right? Basically, I've shown you the ropes and to do the entire report and how do you generate all these numbers and how do you generate all these these charts and everything. All right. Yep. So do my work. Thank you so much, guys.